Now, we will use Microsoft Excel to learn how to do linear regression modeling. First, open your Microsoft Excel and go to the Data tab. If this Data Analysis button is unseen, please follow the instructions shown in the handout file to add it. Once you have done so, the Data Analysis button will be available at here under the Data tab. Let's load our data, which is the cancer filtered data, into our Microsoft Excel. The first column, target rate, is the target column that we want to find answer. You can also say that this is the Y column, or the label column, or the dependent variable column. The rest of the columns, incidence rate, median income, poverty percent, median age, and also percent merit, are all the X's, or we can call them the explanatory variable to this target rate. Now let's go to the Data tab and select Data Analysis. Scroll down until you see Regression. And then we click OK. Now it requires us to input the Y range. Make sure that your cursor is here, and then we highlight column A from the first item until the last line of column A. Okay, so supposedly you will see A1 to A58. You don't need to bother about the dollar sign first. And then let us input the X range. Make sure that you put your cursor at the X range here. And let's start highlighting from B1 until all the way down to the last data here. So it should be B1 to F58. Let us take the labels here. This is to let Microsoft Excel know that the first row of our data is actually the column labels, column headers. In Microsoft Excel, it is called as labels, which is another name is called the column names. Now here, you can either choose output range to select any empty columns, any empty cells, but I myself prefer to put it at a new worksheet. This would be our linear regression answers. And then we click OK. So a new worksheet appears and you can see your linear regression outcome. Don't worry about all this. I will explain to you the important features. You can select all and you can double click on any between any two columns. Double click so that it will show all the words nicely. The first thing that we are looking at it is this multiple R. This is the R value for the overall regression model. However, this only means that the whole model's correlation value is 0.6765. It doesn't mean between any two values. We can roughly look at this to see that the overall correlation is 0.67675. Now, let's look at the coefficient part. This is B0, which is the intercept. For now, in this course, let us don't look at this and we focus on the rest. This is the weight for incidence rate. This is the weight for median income, and so on. So how do we use these values? We can create an equation, namely y equals to, we take the first coefficient, which is the intercept, 37.48. Let us just take two decimal places. And then The next thing is we are going to add the second coefficient, which is 0.2694. Let us also just take two decimal places, which is sorry, I forgot to add a plus. So between any two coefficients, we need to plus or minus depending on the values here. So this is a positive value, we add a plus here. We will plus 0.27. Let's call it x1. Okay, so now x1 represents incident rate. Then the third coefficient is a negative one. So here we put negative, which is also means minus 0.0004, let's call it 49. We take two digits and let's call it x2. So x2 is this one, median income. And then we can plus 0.6236. Now we only take two decimal places again. And let us call the poverty percent x3. Two more to go. We plus 0.44 x4, which is the median age. And lastly, we add 0.09 x5, which indicates the percent merit. That's it. This is our model. So in order to estimate y, which is the target rate, this one, if we want to estimate target rate, we can just key in the values of incident rate, median income, poverty percent, age, and also percent marriage in this equation. Then we can calculate the y. Let us put down the symbols here. We call it x1, x2, x3. You can double click to edit the cell, yeah. x4, and lastly we have x5. That's it. Now go back to our data here, and then again go to data tab, again data analysis, but this time let us select correlation. Make sure you are selecting the correct one and press OK. Our input range will be everything here, so let us highlight everything. And we group by columns. This means our group is by column. Okay, one column represents one variable. And remember to take labels in the first row. Again, it indicates that the first row is not our data, but it's the column name. Same thing, we export our output in a new worksheet. And then press OK. So this is our correlation data. Again, you can highlight all and then double click in between of two columns in order to expand the cells. So can you tell what's the meaning here? Let us focus only on the first column. Target rate. Because this target rate is our target, so we are interested to see what is the correlation between target rate and also the other axis. For example, target rate and incident rate give us this value, 0.47. So that means the correlation between target rate and incident rate is medium, moderate, 0.47, which is between 0 and 1. Okay, and this is a positive correlation. That means when incident rate increases, our target rate is also increased. And the next one is median income and target rate. When the median income increases, target rate drops because there is a negative correlation here. And the strength is also moderate because it's around 0.5. Next one, poverty percent and target rate. The correlation between these two is 0.37. It is considered weak, but if you compare among these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values, it is still quite significant. And then median age and target rate, the correlation is also quite weak, which is only 0.16. And then the last one, percent merit and target rate. The correlation is 0.0005, which is very near to 0, which means that these two are very weakly correlated to each other.